Alright guys, part 2, catalytic converter, p0420, all that good stuff. Alright, so let's talk. What we're going to need. What I have here, I got my handy dandy, socket set. It's a nice socket set, but especially for this Honda F22 B1 engine, on the catalytic converter there is a oxygen sensor. This is what's called an oxygen sensor socket. If anybody has ever heard of it or not, I don't know. If you haven't, you have now. Fits onto the oxygen sensor, and the wire comes through here, and then it just acts as a regular old socket. So this is definitely going to be a plus, seeing as how you're not going to be able to really fit a wrench, an adjustable wrench in there, to try to move it around to get it out. Definitely a must-have. I can't remember how much this was. It's been a while. I think it was something like $15, and I think I got it at AutoZone, pretty sure. Anyway, definitely going to need one of those. I kind of did a look already, and I think what we're going to need is, for sure, 14mm, 15mm sockets, and pretty sure it's going to be a 13 as well. Just for my personal preference, I really do like the deep well sockets like this. I prefer to use these if I can. Don't know why exactly, but I like these. Alright, I do have the car jacked up already, and we're going to take a look at and see where that catalytic converter is. So, driver's side tire, there's a door, I got my jack right there. So let's go take a peek underneath here. Okay, so that nice shiny silver thing is the catalytic converter. It's pretty much directly in between the two tires, a little bit further back. It is a pain in the ass to get to, just gonna let you know. Just because if you use your factory jack points like I am, they're pretty much right in the way. I guess I could take one of the tires off, but it's not really something I'm interested in doing. So I'm going to get under the car, and then I'm going to show you the bolts and all that good stuff. Alright guys, we're back. Alright, so on this particular end, more toward the muffler side, you're going to have three different bolts on this side. It's going to be one, see if I can get a good angle. Okay, well anyway, you're going to have three different bolts. Makes kind of a triangle shape all around here. Once you get down here, you'll be able to see all three of them, and it's fine. The way this is going to work, though, is you're going to want like a socket on one side and like a wrench on the other side, something like that, because you need to hold one side while you torque on the other. And that's going to be the same on both ends. Those are the other ones. Those are actually just two different bolts. It has a couple of springs. You don't really need to. There's nothing really special about the springs. They just provide extra tension, and that's about it. So, I mean, they're not gonna like shoot off at you or anything like that. And I wish that I had something to set this up on, so that I could like show you how to take these off exactly, but I'm pretty sure if you're doing this project, you probably know exactly what to do. So 2 wrenches, hold one side while you're torquing the other side, and we'll get them off. And then the oxygen sensor is going to be, well, let's see if I can move enough to show you. Okay, so we're going up the side here toward the top. Can't get a good angle from there, so we're gonna go up on the other side. And I can't see what I'm doing. I can't see it, but oh, there. Okay, so it should be right in there. I have the screen turned away from me, so I can't really see. But you should see a little piece sticking out. That is the oxygen sensor. All right, so I'll be right back with the catalytic converter off. All right, guys, a couple things I forgot to tell you. First, let me explain exactly where I'm at. I am coming from the front of the engine. This is part of the exhaust pipe right here, and then that's where the catalytic converter was. It goes down to the resonator to the muffler. Okay. Once you have the bolts free, you have a couple hangers. There's one right here that holds these little rubber pieces on right here, and then there's also another one right there. Bam, right at the end of my finger. Those things, they come off easily only after you've disconnected the catalytic converter, and you can drop the back. Let's see, you can drop the back down a little bit, and then you should be able to manipulate it in a way to be able to get it off of there. Alright, and then also another thing is, let me try to show you. This is, oh, actually, let me follow it so you can see. Oxygen sensor's right here. You follow the wire all the way up the side, right here, and then there's the connector right there. It's the same as any other connector. This one you can actually pull down a little. Damn it, where is it? There it is. You can actually pull down because it's connected to a little plastic piece right there. You can just pull it down, pull it free. Tab. Well, gonna need 2 hands probably, but anyway, obviously hold the tab and pull the connector. Alright, and then I will see you guys in a second. Alright guys, let's talk. A couple things. Just going to show you some of the hardware that came off of here real quick. Got a couple of these. This is a metal gasket piece. Fits not on that side, but the other side in between the catalytic converter and the rest of the exhaust pipe. Definitely want to hold on to that so you don't have any exhaust leaks. Okay. This also comes from the other side. You can see that's a bolt with a nut and 2 washers. It sits like this. where the washers are on each side of, like one on the exhaust side and, well, exhaust pipe side, I guess, and then one on the catalytic converter side, just like that. Okay. And then this guy here with the spring that I was telling you about sits like this, and this sits, let's see, I'm trying to remember which way we're going here. Alright, so this is going to sit on this side with the nut coming through the connection point on the other side. So essentially, you know, like this. And then as you tighten it, it tightens this spring as well, and it just adds some extra friction, something like that. And the reason for that is because there's a little, I want to say like a little cone-shaped piece that kind of fits into this, and you want to make sure that it's like firmly against that cone piece so you don't get any exhaust leaks either, because essentially that acts as the gasket per se, even though it's not really a gasket at all. Okay, these are the rubber pieces I was talking about for the hangers. Very hard to get them on and off unless you did it the way I was saying, where you drop the back, then you're able to kind of manipulate these pieces to get them off. And then we also have the oxygen sensor wire. My connection was on there very, very, very snug. It didn't want to come off at all. And of course the oxygen sensor. Once you have it off the car, I was noticing actually that it's going to be, especially for this one, sorry, give me a second. Okay. Especially for this one, it's going to be easier to take the oxygen sensor off when the catalytic converter is off the car. With that being said, you wouldn't actually need the oxygen sensor socket like I was talking about. Not for this one, but for the other one, you would. The other one that's located right before the catalytic converter, because you can't take, you can't really, unless you want to take out the whole exhaust, like exhaust manifold and rest of the pipe there before the catalytic converter, you wouldn't be able to get that off without the socket. So let me just go over socket, bring it right here, you just tuck the wire in like that, and then it comes down and it fits right on there like that, and then you just take socket, stick it on the end right here, and then you just yank on it. The first time I did it was very tough. Maybe spray some lubricant on there for the thread and really work on it, and then you're going to be able to break it loose, and we'll be right back with some more. Alright guys, so what I ended up doing was I pretty much put my foot on the end of it like this, and then I was able to just yank on it. Because I've done this pretty recently, it wasn't like rusted in there like it was on the first time. So right now I'm going to show you guys why this catalytic converter is bad. Upon initial inspection of the honeycomb material, it seemed intact, not melted, but I knew right away when I pulled it out that it was bad. I didn't even have to look at it, because if you shake it and you hear those pieces broken up inside like that, that's the honeycomb material more in the center here, because it goes through. You have honeycomb throughout the whole thing. So if it's broken up on the inside, it causes problems. One of the things I'm going to double check is the Honda had a misfire as well, and I'm just going to do a little experiment now that I have the catalytic converter off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start the car. It's going to be really, really loud, but I'm going to start the car, and I'm going to see if that misfire is still present, and then that way I can double check to make sure if the misfire was caused by the catalytic converter. And this isn't a fail-proof thing, because if you suspect the catalytic converter, it may not actually be. It can be further down in the exhaust, like a muffler. The muffler can also get clogged, but based on what we're looking at here with the broken honeycomb inside, I'm going to just assume that that is the cause of what we're dealing with here. The efficiency code as well as the misfire. Some things that can ruin a catalytic converter. If your car is misfiring already, it can destroy the honeycomb material. If your car is overheating, it causes a higher temperature during combustion, and that can melt the honeycomb material, all that kind of stuff. And also carbon deposits can clog it up. And sometimes you can clean these. I've seen some people do it with soap and water. I've seen people put lacquer thinner in their gas tank, and apparently that helps. But for this situation, it's not going to. It's all broken up. It's destroyed. So we're going to need a new cat. And once we get that new catalytic converter, I can make another video for you guys. And I can show you what it's supposed to look like, how it's supposed to sound when you shake it, all that kind of stuff. Which, when you shake it, it shouldn't sound like anything. And then I'll go through the steps of putting it back on the car. And that's about it, guys. Let's wrap it up. As far as the difficulty rating on the job, it's really not difficult. The bolts aren't on there very tight. Pretty easy to get to. You just want to make sure the car's high enough so you can slide underneath. And that's really about it. It's on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd say probably a 3, just for trying to crawl in between space, like a tight space, and then the oxygen sensor would be in there pretty tight. That's about it. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys. Share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you like my videos, and be sure to suggest any if you want to see anything special. Until next time, guys, have a great day. Stay safe.